Welcome back to another episode of Melanin Mysteries. And today's tale takes us to Bakersfield, California, where a school administrator had more than just grade books and PTA meetings on his mind. Spoiler alert, it's murder, and not the kindergarten kind. In this case, Vincent Brothers went from a respectable educator to a cross country killer in what seemed like a plot twist even Netflix would reject for being too wild. But before we dive into this tragic story, we have to give a serious heads up. This episode involves violence against children, so listener discretion is advised. If you're ready, let's unravel the twisted tale of a man whose alibi fell apart thanks to bugs and bad math. I'm your host, Tiffany.
And I'm your co-host, Willie.
So it's July 8th, 2003. Kelsey Spann pulled up to check on her bestie, Joni, because she wasn't answering her phone. And I know if I don't hear from my best in a couple of days, I'm going to probably make that 2-hour drive and pull up. So
A
Kelsey, she
couple of
hadn't.
days. It's one
Yeah, because
day.
I mean, like, I be, I'm like, I'm
One
not
day.
like, gonna stalk you, but I mean, like, if I don't hear from you for a couple of days, like, that's not the usual. And I know
Yeah,
you're not, yeah, so I'm gonna pull
exactly.
up.
All right, I got you. If I don't hear from you one day, I'm pulling up because you always check up. I will have to pull up on you. I just
So
check your cameras. The one that you
you can
got.
check my location.
Oh yeah, that is true. Go ahead.
So, anywho, she hadn't seen or heard from Joni since July 6th, which is 2 days prior, when they were at church. And it was weird because Joni and her family didn't show up for the second service like she normally does, and she wasn't answering her phone. So Kelsey, she likely has a key to her bestie's house, so she goes inside and she finds Joni and her two children and Joni's mom, Ernestine, all dead. So she immediately dials 911.
Police department, can I help you? My sister, my best friend, she's dead. She's laying on the bed. Help me, please help me. What address do we need to go to? 901 3rd Street. 3rd Street. My sister's dead. We're getting some officers there, okay? Please hurry.
So Joni Harper, she was born November 14th, 1963 in Bakersfield, California. Her mother was Ernestine Harper. No father was mentioned. She was the fifth and youngest child. Her siblings were Linda, Helen, Robert, and Eddie. So Joni graduated from Bakersfield High School in 1981 and went to Southwestern Christian College in Terrell, Texas, and she earned her associate's degree before she later went to Pepperdine University. So Joni, she was a huge basketball fanatic. She played basketball all throughout her childhood and into adulthood. She was considered gifted. And she was also a Division I basketball coach. She was raised in a Christian home and she was baptized at the age of 13. She went on to work for the Bakersfield City School District as a campus supervisor of security. And Joni's brother Eddie said that she was the sweetest and most gentle person you would ever meet. She had such a passion for working with children. Now, her mom, Ernestine Harper, was born March 27th, 1933, to Arthur and Annie Mae Harper in Corsicana, Texas. She was the third of six children, and she moved to California in 1961 and specifically Bakersfield in 1964. She had five children whom we mentioned before, Joni's siblings, and she was a huge community activist. She helped wrongfully convicted individuals fight their cases, and she was a spokeswoman for the poor and disenfranchised. She was also co-founder of an Extended Hand for Justice organization. She would go on mission trips to Africa and South America, providing money and support to the impoverished. She sadly left behind 10 grandchildren and 9 great-grandchildren.
Okay, now back to the crime scene for just a moment. When detectives came up on the scene, they just wanted to make sure that there was no one still in the home. If in fact there was an intruder, because they just get there, it's a murder scene, they don't know what's going on. The first officer on the scene, he came in through the back of the house and he noticed that the sliding door wasn't closed all the way. So that's how whoever did this, that's how they entered the house. There were bars on the windows, but no forced entry. Inside in the hallways was the body of Ernestine. She was shot twice in the face, and lying near her was a 38 revolver pistol. So next in the bedroom, in the bed were the bodies of Joanna, her 2-year-old daughter. That's
Where
Harper's.
did you get pause? Where the hell you get
What?
Joanna? Where
Joanna,
where did
man.
Joanna come from?
Is that her name? Joanna? Joanne? Is it Joanne?
Joni, what?
Joni. Well, first of all, this was wrong with people. Spell the name how you pronounce. I pronounce it how it's spelled. Why you got the A in there? Take the
Because
A
that's how you
out.
spell Joan.
No, take the A out. It's Jone. Joni. That's how it's supposed to be. Jeez.
So we did a whole run through of this, and I said Joni like 18 times,
I know.
and
It's
you
just
still come on here and come with some whack at. I'm so sorry.
oh Lord Jesus, Joni, her 2-year-old daughter. Look, this is a devastating situation. We talk about names, man. People dead here.
And that's why you're supposed to get their names correct.
I know, man. All right. Her
God.
2-year-old dog, Leansley, and her 4-year-old son, Marquise. I got that name right.
No, you didn't. His name was Marcus.
Oh, God, Jesus.
I swear I hate you.
Marcus.
You know how like Marcus Houston, he spells his name like Marquess,
Black
Marcus.
black people, we gotta get better at doing. We gotta stop doing that. Why would you put a Q in there for Marcus? It's supposed to be a C. I'm so sorry. This is so funny.
Just like how your daughter named Diamond, it ain't spelled like diamond. So that's why. Keep
What?
going.
Dymon. Diamond. Diamond. Like
Diamond is spelled Diamond.
whatever, man. They all been shot. And Joni, it appeared that she also was stabbed. That's horrible. Like, let's just talk about that. I
Rest in peace. Oh
because
my
I
god.
hate doing cases where children are murdered. Like, just I mean, I feel like any murder, majority of them are senseless. But innocent children, that's always bothers me. So
Hmm.
not only was Joni shot, but they said she also was stabbed. And Joni was shot twice in the head and stabbed 5 times. That's freaking brutal. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
overkill.
Yes, Lindsay had been shot in the center of her back, and Marcus was shot in his chest. So they also had a little baby. So they had to be, you know what I'm saying, scared witnessing her mom and sister get shot. He literally, so the little baby literally bit through his finger to the bone, being so scared. And I don't know if you know this, right? Just a little bit of like just useless facts. They say that your brain won't even allow you to bite through your
For
finger.
it to harm yourself.
Yes,
Yeah.
like it automatically like shut. Won't allow you to do it. So for a kid to be that scared that it basically bypass a normal, functioning part of your brain to bite through your
Hmm.
to the bone, that's devastating, bro.
Yeah, poor baby. Oh my god, that poor baby.
Yeah, rest in heaven.
So the detectives, they come back out and they speak with Kelsey and tell her that 4 people are dead inside the home. And Kelsey says, 4? No, there are 5 people who live in this house. Joni just had a baby 6 weeks ago. So detectives, they go back inside looking for the missing baby to see if he's there or if they have a kidnapping case on their hands as well as a quadruple murder. So one report I read said the police searched for several minutes. Another article said it was a couple hours, but they did find the baby. He was under a pillow on the bed as well, and unfortunately, he had been shot and killed too. His name was Marshall. Rest in peace to that poor baby.
Yes.
Um, so Joni's purse had been dumped out and the contents were all over the floor, including cash and credit cards in clear sight. Nothing in the home appeared to be missing. So Marcus Jawan Brothers was born November 15th, 1998 to, of course, his mommy Joni, and his daddy was Vincent Brothers. They said that he was a very curious and energetic baby boy. He loved attending church and was one of the loudest who would say amen at the end of the prayers. He loved basketball just like his mommy, and he was a proud preschool grad, and he was considered the little man of the family. He was just 4 years old when he passed.
Horrible.
So Lindsay Michelle, she was born August 5th of 2000. They said that Lindsay loved to cuddle and was just a sweet baby girl. And at church, they called her a little bit of brown sugar. And they said she had a mind of her own, just like her mommy. And poor little Marshall James, he was born on May 23rd of 2003. He was only 6 weeks old when God called his angel back home.
Yeah, that's horrible. So talking to Kelsey, the detectives learned that Joni was married to a man named Vincent Brothers. So police are concerned that Vincent himself might be in danger, so they need to, track him down, get in contact with him. They found out that Vincent had left for the weekend and went to visit his brother in Columbus, Ohio, right? She mentioned to the police that Joni and Vincent were separated and Vincent was outside in these streets like he was fully single. So this nigga was out there living. The last time the family was seen was on July 6th at the Black Angus Steak restaurant in Bakersfield after church. It's a possibility that the bodies had been there for at least 2 days before being found. So Eddie, Joni's brother, found out by one of their cousin's husband, informed him that Joni was dead. And then 2 hours later, he was also told that his mother, niece, and nephews also had been killed. Damn. So Vincent, Joni's husband, found out from his mother. He was on the road driving to his mother's home in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. She informed him when he arrived. So imagine hearing that. Damn, that your wife, family, whole family was just murdered. I couldn't even imagine that. So
I
Mark,
have no words because that's just like, just your whole life gone.
yeah, just like that. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't. So Margaret said, I held him real tight and he broke away from me. He started running and screaming and hollering. So he was going ballistic. That nigga was, I mean, rightfully so. And within an hour of his arrival, Vincent made his way down to Elizabeth City, North Carolina police station to speak with police along with his mother, brother, and sister. The Elizabeth City Police Department contacted Bakersfield Police, and Vincent and his mom and brother waited several hours at the station for the Bakersfield Police to fly across country just so they could speak to Vincent. That's crazy that they'll do that. But I guess because of the nature of the crime, that they would do that.
Yeah.
Actually fly out themselves.
Yeah.
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 So police asked the usual questions, and attempted to, but Vincent was inconsolable. So
We appreciate any cooperation that you can give us. Mama! Mama! Vincent. Help me! Mama! I want to go home!
this, his whole family dead. Just yeah, these ball, going crazy. They just gave up and let Vincent go home and grieve. He was initially ruled out as a suspect.
So let's talk a bit about Vincent.
Okay.
So Vincent Edward Brothers was born May  31st, 1962 in Bellport, Long Island, New York. His mother is Margaret Brothers. Vincent is one of 10 kids. And his mother said that Vincent was blessed with the gift of knowledge. He never had to study, but he took things very seriously. She said she never saw him down or depressed or anything. So after Vincent graduated high school, he enlisted in the Marine Reserves in 1980. He also attended Norfolk State University for his bachelor's degree and then on to California State University, Bakersfield. After graduating with his master's degree in education, he started a career in the school system in Bakersfield.
Okay, this is where Joni and Vincent met. It's not exactly clear of the year the two met, but Marcus was born in 1998, and the couple married for the first time in 2000. But the marriage was a no just after 1 month. Now, hold on. You hear this? That's the T. So the T is that Vincent will have unexplained absence for days at a time. So you know what he was doing. And Joni wasn't going to stand by and just let a man do whatever he wanted without explanation. So basically, the nigga was out there cheating. Yeah. So if you didn't catch my drift, he was out there stroking and poking. But somehow in between annulment and the second secret marriage in 2003, Lindsay was born in 2001. I never understood that. Like, nigga, if I divorce you one time, we're not about to do this shit over again.
Well, WG, she married the same man twice. Hmm.
Oh, yeah. Shit, not me. Once I divorce, I mean, I get married again, obviously.
Yeah, we know you'll get married again.
But I'm not marrying the same bitch, the same brother twice. Not me. No, forget that. So Joni just wanted her children to have the real family dynamic and have a mother and a father. And that is true. A lot of people, I have heard a lot of people we have talked about this several times, stay in a situation longer than they need to
for the
just for the
kid.
cheer. Yes, and I feel like that is so unfair. I'm not gonna
It
lie. I feel
really is. I learned that very early on because if you have a toxic marriage, like that toxicity is going to seep into your kids and you're going to end up doing more damage to your kids having them see a toxic relationship between their parents versus mommy and daddy might be separated, but they're both at least happy.
yeah, yeah, I got you. I got you. So, she wanted to do what any mother, like I said, wanted to do. So she wanted them to see a husband, a wife, a mother, and a father in the same household. That was her main concern. And it seemed like Vincent wanted the same thing. He wanted his family. So Vincent started attending a study program with a local minister to get back on track so he could be a better man to Joni and her and his children, not just her, but his children. So in 2003, Joni and Vincent snuck off to Vegas and they married for a second time, and she gave birth to Marshall just 4 months later. You know that
Now
happened,
look at this timeline. So they got married in January of 2003.
right?
She gave birth to Marshall in May 2003, and by July they're all dead.
That's she should left out. Yeah, she left that nigga alone. God damn. Yeah, yeah. So that's crazy though to hear about how because that's what happened to me when I cheated. That's the first thing we do. I went straight to church. I was in the church, man. I became like a little dinking and everything. I got my life together, and then she cheated on me and left me. Damn,
Got to be more careful.
got to be more careful. I'm gonna tell my story one day. Go ahead, you up now.
So Vincent returned back to Bakersfield on July 11th of 2003, and this man completely missed his family's memorial service. That pissed me off.
Exactly, your whole family got killed.
And you just make it taking your sweet old time to come back home. You should have been there from the get go. When they told you your family was dead, your ass should have been on the first thing smoking back to Bakersfield.
Yeah, exactly. So that just it speaks volumes. I'll
It
say.
really does. So he was in attendance for the funeral on July 16th. He came in with his mother and all his siblings, and they said it was noted that he spoke with others in attendance, but he did not make a public statement at all. They said he was obviously grieving. And there were hundreds of people who showed up to the funeral for Joni, Ernestine, Marcus, Lindsay, and Marshall. And they said, like, it was people who didn't even know them that just came because it just touched them so much. Like, they said it was just a huge service. So Eddie, Joni's brother, said that Vincent said to him after the service, quote, Eddie, I was not there. I did not do this.
Guilty,
Right. So
right there.
you because you
Guilty.
sound suspicious as hell. Why you come over here talking about I ain't do it.
Why is that? Why would they even come out of your mouth? Like guilty. Like who the fuck does that at a funeral? And that's the first thing that comes out of your mouth. So
Exactly.
detectives was stuck figuring out now what could have happened to this entire family. As we stated before, Ernestine was very prominent in the community as an activist, which got dangerous at times, which explained why there were bars on the doors and the windows. And they thinking like, was this the possibility that there was retribution? Vincent mom said about Ernestine, the work she was doing in the community that would automatically bring enemies. I know my son told me years back that Mrs. Harper was very nervous and always had fear somebody was going to break into the house. But the fact Joni was stabbed, in addition to being shot, pointed towards the fact that Joni had been the target. Yes, overkill. That was just
Hmm.
overkill. Real talk. You shot and stabbed. Like, damn.
Yeah, it was entirely too much. So when the autopsy was completed, it was confirmed that the contents of the family's stomach was consistent with the food eaten at the steakhouse on July 6th. The food hadn't even been digested at the time of death, which gave them the estimated time of death to be sometime shortly after 1 p.m. on July 6th of 2003. So with no other leads, detectives decided it's a good idea to spin the block and check Vincent out one more time. So they decided to track his movements. They found he had a one-way flight on July 2nd, 2003 from LAX to CMH. He then rented a blue Dodge Neon at the Columbus airport. That's a little ass car. I had one of those.
I
I had
mean, but
two of
it's yeah.
those.
You had a Danya?
I had two of them.
Yeah, I mean, when I worked at the rental car place, that's what we used to rent. I mean, it was little fun little cars and everything. I ain't gonna lie, they was good as hell on gas.
Yeah, they were. I love both the ones I had. But yeah, I'm like, why would he get that little bitty car? But anyway, So they checked his credit card statements, and during the days leading up to the murder, Vincent's credit cards were being used in Columbus, Ohio. And I'm sorry, let me say the days leading up to the murder, the day of the murder as well. His credit
Okay.
cards were being used in Columbus, Ohio, and his cell phone was also pinging in Columbus on the day of the murder.
Okay, so they also interviewed Vincent's brother Melvin. Melvin told police that Vincent was, with him and the family for the weekend, and that Vincent had planned to stay for 7 to 10 days. They asked Melvin if he'd seen Vincent between July 5th and July 8th. Melvin said that he hadn't and couldn't verify his whereabouts. Now, footage from the stores where the credit card was used showed Melvin on the tapes, not Vincent. So his brother was the one swiping the card, right?
Mm-hmm.
They call Melvin in for questioning, especially asking him like, "Why do you lie about the dates?" And he previously was asked about. Melvin tells them that Vincent asked him to specifically go to certain places at a certain time and a date and purchase certain items with his credit card and to sign his name. So let me tell you something. I love my family. I love my brother to death. But you got me. I ain't about to be implemented. I'm not to be, associated with any of the bullshit that you doing, my dude. Like, I'm not about to do that. The first thing I would ask, like, nigga, why am I doing this? And
Mm-hmm.
then call me what you want. If I found out that during the times you had me do this, the family end up getting murdered. Oh my nigga, I'm turning you
I'm
in.
snitching.
I'm snitching. I'm telling everything.
Yeah, I'm not in the business of protecting
Hell
murderers.
no, no, not at all. Remember, we don't protect and we don't hug murderers.
Nope.
Remember that.
Yep. So next, the detectives they went to the car rental place to get some information about the rental car that Vincent had. So keep up because this is gonna be a lot. When Vincent picked up the car, it had 2,709 miles. But upon return, the car had 8,248 miles. So if you ain't pull out your calculator, that is 5,424 miles that were driven on that car in less than 2 weeks. Now, I don't know about you, but 5,000 miles takes a very long time to rack up,
Yeah,
even if you
yeah,
drive a lot. So to
yeah.
do that in 2 weeks, you was
It's
rolling.
I mean, seriously, and I'm a driver. I drive. I'm not a truck driver, but I drive.
Yeah.
D- to be able to do that many miles, you are literally that's all you're doing is driving. He probably wearing a diaper too. And I ain't trying to be funny. That's what did you hear about the one lady? I think she worked for NASA. She drove cross country to kill her, I guess a dude that she was messing with girlfriend, and she got there so quick because she wore diapers the whole time she was driving, so she had to pull over and use the bathroom. That's some nasty
Ew.
shit.
It is. So the farthest that Benson has told the police that he drove was to Elizabeth City, North Carolina, to visit his mom, which is only 613 miles from Columbus to Elizabeth City. So where the rest of those miles come from? So
Dumbass.
police did a little bit of, they put out their little calculator and they started adding some stuff up. So from Columbus, Ohio to Bakersfield, it's approximately 2,258 miles. So multiply that by two, you got 4,516 miles. Add in that 613 miles from Columbus to Elizabeth City, you have approximately 5,129 miles. So how far off are we? Not much.
Exactly. No, that's yeah, dumbass. Niggas they be doing
So
shit. You didn't think they were gonna check that? And you know what? Me working at a rental car place, a lot of rental car spots only allow you to put so many miles on the vehicle.
well, now I know Enterprise because I just put it in for that rental car. It does say you have unlimited miles.
Well, no, I'm talking about, but this was back in the day. Like I worked for
Okay.
Dollar Rental Car back in like 1998.
Oh,
And yeah, back
damn.
then certain cars they had uh mileage like cutoffs. Like you couldn't go over it, and after so many miles you had to pay. So I just say I can only imagine seeing this car checking the dude in because that's what I did. I used to be the shuttler and I used to check in customers and see he put 5,000 miles on the car. I'm like, damn, where the fuck you been at?
Mhm.
That's why he got a neon. That nigga
Yeah, 'cause
was
it was good on
killing.
gas.
Hey, that nigga was killing and getting good ass gas mileage in the time at the same time. No, I mean, I don't mean to make a joke out of it because it was kids that was murdered. Go ahead. So the theory is that Vincent left Columbus, Ohio on July 3rd or maybe the 4th, arrived in Bakersfield sometime on July 6th, left immediately afterwards, drove back to Columbus. The drive from Columbus to Bakersfield is approximately 36 hours. But how do you prove this is the question? How do you prove it, right? So they put Vincent under surveillance for an entire year. And in a year, they found out more information that I think they even wanted to know that, what I'm saying? Joni was in Vincent's first wife. So she was actually his fourth wife, right? So let's talk a bit more about Vincent's past, right? His first marriage was the marriage that he served 6 days in jail for spousal abuse, and that was back in 1988. He was also given probation. Then he got married again in 1992. In 1993, his wife filed for divorce, claiming he threatened to kill her and he was violence. So he obviously had an issue where he couldn't keep his hands to his goddamn self, right? That's crazy. Ooh.
So he got this. Ooh, this why you gotta do background checks on niggas,
Yes,
like
I
for
swear
real.
it's so funny. I literally was going to say that. Like, people really do need to, like, I'm not trying to be funny. Like, you can go on like Cuyahoga County clerk of courts. Something simple. You don't pay for that. And look how people back see what's going on with the person that you're dealing with.
Cause I sure do. I be all in people's court records. I want to
Eh,
know when you got divorced. When you,
Yeah, I'm
I
just
don't
saying you
know.
got yeah, no, I respect it though, but you got to though, because I mean, yeah, and then the multiple times they was married, you will want to kind of look into that and to find out that he violent. Know what I'm saying? Mr. Can't stop hitting hoes. Mm.
Always gotta call somebody a hoe. You know somebody gonna have something to say about that. So they spoke with Sean Kern, who was an ex girlfriend of Vincent. She was actually the mother to his daughter, Margaret. I guess he named his daughter after his mama. I had to go back because that had confused me. Because Margaret was born in 1988. And if you notice, remember it said he was married in 1988.
Yeah.
This nigga been a cheater.
Ooh, cheating in
So
the next room.
yeah, so the two they had actually lived together while they were in college. And Sean said, quote, I was in love with Vincent. I loved him. I admired him. But Sean, she filed charges against him for assaulting her when she confronted him about one of his unexplained disappearances. She said, quote, I had on little slippers and I picked that thing up and I told Vincent, you can't treat me like this. Man, when that slipper hit him, he was just like, boom, wham, wham, jumped on me and just started beating me like he didn't even know me. Just kept like wham, wham. Every time I would get up, he would hit me. A completely different person than you were dealing with and just the most evil face. Scared the living life out of me. Woo.
He beat her like she owed him money.
Sure did. Gosh.
And
So
the
when
fact,
Vincent was
like, hold on. I love how she explains it though with the sound effects. She like boom, wow, wham.
yeah, she was telling her story. I was like, my
Oh, you could
God.
yeah, look, you could tell that she tells that story a lot.
Yeah, she added sound effects over the
Exactly.
years.
The sound effects, you could tell she tells that story a lot. Go ahead, my bad.
So she said when Vincent, well, okay, I'm sorry. When Vincent was confronted with this information at some point, he completely denied the entire incident. And then he claimed that Sean came at him with a knife and a gun, but it was said she was clear of those charges. So who knows if that's even true.
True. True.
So there was also an incident in 1996 where Vincent was working as a vice principal at Emerson Middle School. And the woman, she chose to remain unnamed, but she worked with Vincent at the school. She said that she visited his home and Vincent dragged her into a bedroom and hit her and took pictures of her. She was able to escape and run out the house and drive away. So this same woman in a totally different incident, she said Vincent caressed her hip while she was working at the front counter of the school office and she ended up taking a leave of absence. She said she also received threatening phone calls and said it created an oppressive work environment. Now here's the kicker. She went to the police to report the incident of when he beat her. And when she went to make the report, the police advised her against filing a report. They said because Vincent was such a staple in the community and they didn't want to do anything to tarnish his image.
And that's crazy because he's black. Like, I ain't trying to be funny, and I'm not, but let's be honest. You don't see that amongst us. Like usually,
No,
if it's
they was
uh,
gonna go lock his ass up, but I guess
yeah, it's a white dude or a Catholic preacher, them the ones that always get off with doing shit like that. Well,
yeah.
doing
So, but
foul shit.
basically, yeah, I'm like an officer told her that. Like that's
Yeah,
wild.
yeah, that is
So there
crazy.
was also no record of the school formally disciplining Vincent. They just transferred him to another school.
Like they do Catholic priests. They just send them off to another church to fondle little boys. Anyway, so police and FBI interviewed over 100 people in the year that they were building the case. So imagine he probably really did think he got off. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it'd been a year. Yeah, he probably thought he got off. You know what I'm saying? So quite a few of them were women, and many of them he was dating. Some of them knew about the others, and some didn't. So he had hoes in every area code. And almost every single one of the relationships that he was in coincide during the time he was married to Joni. So this nigga was just cheating by the masses and getting plenty of
Mm-hmm.
asses while he was in his classes. You like I did that right. That was anyway.
Yeah, because you used to be a rapper. I remember. Mm-hmm.
Just let them know. So when they spoke with some of Vincent's peers at the school, it came up a few times that he was not a nice man. He was threatening, and they just said straight up they was afraid of him. Basically, he was a serial cheater, and I mean, I guess he was violent too because they was afraid of him. So,
Mm-hmm.
so when they spoke about him, I'm assuming when they say his peers, women, because why would a dude? Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So Joni's brother Eddie said that Joni nor his mother ever spoke about Vincent having a bad temper. So maybe they didn't know. Cause they hide shit. You know what I'm saying? And if Joni ain't saying nothing, they wouldn't know.
Mm-mm. So detectives and the FBI, they're racking their brains trying to figure out how to prove this theory of the timeline of how Vincent getting back to Bakersfield from Columbus and in such a short amount of time. And they was like, bam, if Vincent drove the car, bugs tend to get stuck in the radiator as you're driving, and maybe, just maybe, they could use some dead bugs to solve this case. So at Bakersfield PD, they reach out to an entomologist. So an entomologist is a scientist who studies insects. That has to must be the most boring freaking job. Oh my
Yes, and
god.
I just want to thank you for taking this because I would have butchered that.
I know you would have. That's why I didn't give it to you.
I
So
appreciate you.
they learn how insects live, behave, interact with their environment. This can also include studying bugs like butterflies, ants, bees, or beetles to understand things like their life cycle, how they help plants grow, or how to control pests. Sounds like a horrible life choice in a job, but hey,
Hey,
somebody enjoys it,
somebody got to do it.
and I'm sure they get paid nice too. So I
Oh,
don't
you
know.
know they do. Because ain't nobody, the probably not a lot of them. So you know they do.
And that is not a black job. I just want to throw that is not a black job.
But I can guarantee you that they probably got all type of scholarships for black kids for that job. I'm telling you, like I guarantee you they do.
Yeah, we have to find something else to do because I'm not gonna be sitting here looking at bugs
But
for
you
the
don't
rest of
like
my life.
Buzz. That's yeah.
So
Like I
don't.
can see Willie. I can see Willie doing that because Willie love animals and all. I mean, he the only kid I ever actually seen catch gardener snakes like on a regular. At one point, he had like 5, 6 of them. Like so, he loved animals, Buzz, all that. So I can actually see him doing that. You know what I'm saying? I can actually see it.
Well, more power to him, but I hope he finds something else to do because that just sounds boring. So anyway, the entomologist, they found her name was Lynn Kimsey, and they asked her if they could ship the radiator of the Dodge Neon that Vincent had driven, and if she could tell them anything about the bug or bug pieces that were stuck in the radiator, and if there are certain bugs indigenous to specific parts of the country. So then she did her due diligence. She came back with a definitive answer for the detectives. And from the bug fragments found, a lot of the bugs were bugs that only came out during the night. So it was concluded that a lot of the driving was done at night. Also, there were a lot of bugs that were found only in the Southwest United States. And three specific types of bugs that she found were only indigenous to places west of the Rocky Mountains. And there's their case right there.
So, all right, two things. Number one, excuse me. The first thing is, so of course, I used to work at a rental car place. Usually, when a car comes in, they immediately take it to get cleaned. So, I guess my question would be, when did they when would they do that? Because you got to think a rental car has been driven everywhere. So how do they know those bugs were from his driving?
Oh, so what they did was they went and interviewed the people who had, because the car was like fairly new. Like it was a new, because they rental car places keep newer cars. So there
Okay.
were only like a couple people who rented that car before Vincent, and they
Oh,
went and
okay.
interviewed them. And those people had never went farther than Michigan.
Okay. Okay. I got you. Because yeah, I didn't understand that. And then another point. He had to be driving with somebody. Think about it. All that driving, and you driving during the night. Know what I'm saying? Like I'm telling you, he was driving with somebody. I guarantee you he was. He would.
That's a good point, because I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I'm guarantee you somebody was in that car helping him drive. That nigga wasn't doing all that driving by himself. Somebody was in the car helping his head drive. I mean, if you already got a brother that's willing to lie for you, knowing that your whole family was slaughtered and he trying to lie for you, somebody was helping him drive that car. I'm telling you. But the next question is why, right? So that's the $1 million question. Why would Vincent kill off his entire family? Upon more digging, they found out at one point Vincent went to court with Shane concerning child support for their daughter Margaret. Vincent wanted his child support lower, but instead of lowering the child support, the judge increased the child support. I would be mad as hell.
Well, that happened to the
I
kid's
know.
dad.
Yes,
Like,
I remember that.
yeah, but that wasn't even my fault. Like, I ain't say nothing. He went down there messing with stuff, talking about some. I'm about to get it lower. I was like, all right, do what you need to do. The judge came back like, yeah, no, you can't just quit your job and say you want lower child support. He's like, matter of fact, we're gonna go ahead and increase it. I was just looking like
But
that. I was like, I ain't do none of this. I didn't say nothing. I didn't do nothing. This
none of
was
it. But child, especially in Ohio, child support is not it's not tailored to help men and fathers. I am so sorry because you already know I had my kids for almost 3, 4 years and I was still paying child support. Remember?
Yeah, I remember. But okay, so this is the thing about child support that I don't think that people understand. When a man says they get in stroke for child support, like this is the real definition of what child support is. Child support is supposed to give the child the same level of lifestyle that they would have if the parents were still together. So I just be
No,
funny, but that's your fault for if you an NBA player and you fucking with a bitch who ain't got no money.
no, and I get it. I
But
get child
men get
support.
so mad about child support. But like realistically, like, and I get like some amounts are crazy and they say it doesn't take that much to take care of a kid, but it's not just about taking care of the kid. It's supposed to give the child the same level of life that they would have if their parents were together and married. So if you're over here living a $100,000 life, you gonna let your kid, do you think it's okay to give your kid $200 a month? Like, and I get that there are men who do, who can sustain outside of child support and they will take care of their kids. So if it's not needed and your kid's dad is doing what they're supposed to do, then that's wonderful and that's a blessing. But a lot of men don't. And a lot of men, if they don't pay child, if they're not ordered and it's not taken from them, they will not pay. And the mother it's not fair for the mother to be left with, that burden. Now to use it as a tool to be ignorant, that's a whole different story. And I don't agree with that.
No, and again, I'll say this and make it brief. At the end of the day, I understand the purpose of child support. I think child support is needed, but unfortunately, I have noticed a lot of the good fathers get stroked by child support. That's all I was going to say. Like a lot of times, you got the fathers that actually take care of their kids getting stroked for child support. Because when that shit happened to me and her actually had an agreement. When we separated, I said, "Look, at the time, you know how I'm about my kids. You know I love
Mhm.
you. Do anything." I said, "Look, I'll give you." I think it was like $500 a month. Right, and now hear me out. I know this sounds crazy. I said $500 a month. I said I'll pay the cell phone bills. I will pay the it was something for the house, alarm for the house, and then I'll if the kids need something, you know what I'm saying, I'll take care of it. She agreed to it. I end up getting a letter in the mail for child support saying that I had a date. And I went to her, I was like, well, look, I thought we agreed to it. She's like, oh, no, don't worry about it. I did that prior to our agreement. So I'm like, cool. Some told my ass to go to child support, right, that day. I go, guess who was in there? Her ass was sitting right there. So if I would never went, I would have got stroke. Come to find out, they only end up giving her like $800 a month because she thought she was going to get more. But it just so happens that I forgot what they did. They only ended up giving her like $800-900 a month or whatever the case may be. That was it. When she really, it would have been more money out of my pocket or whatever the case may be. So that was aggravated. I say that to say that was aggravated, right? So anyway, they theorized that with an impending divorce between Vincent and Joni, with 3 small children, Vincent would be paying a hefty amount in child support, which is the truth. He'd about to get stroked. And have you noticed so many of these people really be killing they baby mamas because of fucking child support? That is so Joe Carew, I mean, not Joe
Ray
Carew,
Caruth, yeah.
Bobby Cutts, um,
Mhm.
who else was it? Wasn't it somebody else? I don't know. Yes,
Off the
kid,
top of my head, I can't remember, but yeah.
yeah, and with keeping up with all his women's, he can't afford to be giving his ex-wife money for those kids, so to solve the
Keeping
problem,
up with women is expensive.
yes, you gotta kill them all. So, rather than just paying his mind frame to that is how could do people even think like that? I'm just gonna kill my whole family. Nigga, just go go ahead and fake your death. Do something like that. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
there was a man I saw, he did fake his death about so he got out of paying child support.
Shit, I mean, I would rather you try to do that, you know what I'm saying, than kill a whole family. So even after all this information was found, Vincent still wasn't arrested right away. So he's still out there living his best life after he done killed his whole fucking family, dude. That's horrible. So just keep a watchful eye on him. That's what they were doing. They kept an eye on him. They had the wire taps on the phone, everything. It wasn't until April of 2004, 9 months after the murder, that he was arrested. So not quite a year, but 9 months after. The reason that he was finally arrested was because it appeared that Vincent was preparing to flee. He put his house on the market and started selling off his belongings. He had the first preliminary hearing October 25th, 2004, and he was held without bail while awaiting his trial. So I bet you he was probably talking all type of shit on the phone conversations, and they tapping that shit and they heard him. So we know how slow the wheels of justice turn. Vincent didn't see his day in court until January of 2007. Damn. I wonder why the fuck it be taking so damn long.
I
And
have no idea.
yeah, so you got. I mean, obviously they got buku evidence against him. Know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand why BJ, but he needs to sit his little punk ass in jail. Why they do that? I just feel bad for the innocent people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who are who can't afford bond or whatever. They got to sit there while the wheels of justice turn slowly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So the prosecutor was Lisa Green, and she brought forth all the information about the timeline. That July 2nd, Vincent drove to Columbus. Then Thursday or Friday, he drove to Bakersfield, which was on July 3rd or 4th. Sunday, July 6th, he murdered his family and then drove back to Ohio, and he arrived late Monday, July 7th. And his family was discovered on July 8th. So Vincent, we said he was a serial cheater. He had a history of domestic violence. He lied. He had his brother using his credit cards to establish an alibi on the days he was missing. How do you rack up over 5,000 miles in just a few days in one city? Vincent Brothers committed the most heinous murder that Bakersfield, California had ever seen. She could have just dropped the mic on that one and been done with it.
Exactly.
You got me. I'm
Yeah,
guilty.
exactly. So Vincent had a defense team which consisted of two top attorneys, J. Anthony Bryan and Michael Gardena. They said this is not at all the case. Vincent was a loving, dopeful husband. He just got caught up with the women. So that's the picture that they tried to paint, right? But he loved and adored his wife and 3 children. He even thought that he and Joni planned to divorce for the second time. Even though they planned to divorce for the second time, he would never harm his children. Vincent loved children. He was a model principal. He would even ride bikes home with the children from school. Vincent was with family that weekend on the 4th of July. Remember, he was supposed to have been in North Carolina. No, South Carolina, right? That's South. I'm sorry. Joni
Mhm.
wanted to stay home with the children and her mother, and I guess they was having a barbecue while Vincent went to Columbus to see his family, and they could prove it. The defense claims that, like we previously said, that Vincent was with his family from July 2nd to the 11th. He stayed with his brother Melvin on the night of July 2nd, and the reason that Melvin didn't see him again was because Saturday Vincent was out with his other brother Troy. Troy had flown in from New York for the weekend, so he got a bunch of brothers out just gonna laugh at his ass. That shit crazy. Vincent himself took the stand, and when questioned about that Saturday that he was with Troy, he said, "We went for a drive to look at some colleges out of state and take in a basketball game. On the way back, we stopped in St. Louis, Missouri, which was like a 6-hour drive." Defense asked, like, while you was in St. Louis, what exactly did y'all do? So Vincent said, "We stopped and listened to jazz, got something to eat, stretched our legs before getting back on the road." Troy was also supposed to take the stand and testify on his brother's whereabouts that Saturday, but somehow the day he was supposed to testify after lunch, he never came back to the courtroom because the nigga grew a conscience. That's why.
Mhm.
The nigga grew a conscience. All right. And did we mention that Troy was a convicted felon already? So I bet you
That was the
he
one
would.
who drove his ass. And I ain't trying to be funny. You ain't say
You, oh,
nothing
you,
about leaving the state. You said you only went to North Carolina to visit your mama. Now
yeah,
y'all was in St. Louis and somewhere else. Excuse me,
yeah. Yeah,
lying
that
ass.
nigga. Yeah, yeah. So I bet you're right. He was probably the one driving his punk ass, but he probably was like, "Nah, dude, I ain't about to." Because if he would have lied on Stan, that's what's that called again?
Perjury.
Perjury, and he was already a convicted felon. So he like, "No, fuck that." Hey, look, he got.
He like,
He
look,
like, yeah,
I already did too much. He may not have known what Vincent was going to do, or maybe he did, but when you brought it up, it makes sense that his brother likely drove with him out there. So that makes sense of why it would be able to have been done in such a short amount of time. If you got two people driving, one sleeps, one drives.
yes, yes, yes.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that nigga was like, "Yeah, I'm about to go grab something to eat. I'll be right back." That nigga was gone.
Right.
Oh shit. Okay, go ahead.
So next, when Vincent was asked about his relationship with his wife Joni, he said that he loved her and that he was with her through her last pregnancy, which was difficult. He said, quote, "I asked her what was wrong and she said she was having cramps and her back was hurting. And I kissed her and she told me to go get the kids. And that's what I did. I told her I loved her and I'll be right there."
Mm,
Yeah,
mm,
I
mm,
have
mm.
no words. Nothing nice to say anyway.
Nah,
So
nah,
he
nah.
said he would never do this to his children. He loved his children and the jury needed to hear that. For you to get up there and fucking lie and talk about how you loved your children and you sat there and shot those babies, literal babies in cold, man, fuck you.
Yeah. Ooh, damn. Okay, okay.
He
But I
deserved that.
get it
Like,
though. Yeah, I get it. I get it. I get it.
and then you get up on that stand and lie about it.
Mm.
That's evil personified. Like that's just evil.
Yeah, yeah. I'm with you. I'm
Yes.
with you.
Vincent's brother, he was also called to the stand. However, his story changed several times while on the stand, same as it did when he was being questioned by the police. And the prosecution asked, quote, "Were you lying when you told the detective that your brother had given you the credit card on Sunday, July 3rd?"
And yes, yes, yes.
Mhm.
That's what Melvin said. Then Melvin stated that the police harassed and threatened him and his wife as well as his children to get him to corroborate the story they were trying to spin about Vincent. So one police don't want him to look bad, and these other ones are trying to frame him. Remember, they was telling about,
Mhm.
yeah, exactly, right. So, um, the defense team had an expert analyze Melvin's interrogation tape, and they said that the tested police used was psychological, court, mm, court. Why I can't say that word right? Say it for me.
Coercive.
Coerce. I can't. It's like I can't.
Coercive. Coercive.
Coercive. I know I couldn't pronounce it. That it was the equivalent to using the rubber hose on the individual. Defense also claimed that it was physically impossible for Vincent to drive from Columbus, Ohio to Bakersfield um, in such a short amount of time. Which again, I agree, because somebody was driving with him. That's why. So yes, it makes sense. They also had a couple witnesses who claimed that they saw someone who matched Vincent's description and the car in Columbus, Ohio on Sunday. There was an incident that involved a young kid who ran his bike into a parked car, and it was said that Vincent got out of the car. No one was hurt, and the police came to the scene. Right. But on the other hand, the prosecution had a surprise witness, a car dealer named Tamba Levy, who testified that he was in fact the man who was driving the car that the little boy hit, but he was a tall, dark-skinned man. Vincent is brown skin. Vincent was driving a blue Dodge Neon, and Tamba's car was teal. So you see, look, a little prosecution. They like, nah, bruh, we about to get your ass. Now the defense was pissed because they claimed they spoke with Tama previously as he was supposed to testify on their behalf. The defense said he told our investigators that he had nothing to do with it. He had never been there. He doesn't drive the car. In fact, he said he didn't even own that car. He said he sold it to someone else. Mr. Levy didn't fit the description of the defendant or the description given by any witnesses at the scene. We have no idea why Mr. Levy did what he did or said what he said. So somebody
Hmm.
lying.
Clearly.
Somebody lying.
Conflicting just a bit. Just a bit.
Yeah.
But then the prosecution was like, hold up. Don't get suicidal over here because we got witnesses too. Okay, we got witnesses.
Witnesses, baby.
So they had a Rite Aid worker who on the early evening of July 4th around 4 p.m. said that they saw Vincent and actually spoke with him because remember, Vincent's a prominent figure in the community, so they know who he is. So how can he be in two places at once, you ask?
Please explain, please.
Exactly. So then around midnight, two other men who knew Vincent saw him outside of Joni's house pacing for about 20 minutes. Interesting. So the prosecution, they also had called Dr. Kimsey to the stand. She reiterated her findings about the radiator and the bugs in their regions. So this trial lasted for 4 months. That is
That's
a
a long
long
ass time.
ass trial. Don't put me on jury duty for no 4 months.
That's a long ass time. Like after a while, you be like, God, and let's get this shit over with. I
Be-
believe when you do trials that long, I think it really does. It changes the person's like a lot of times they want to just get this shit over with. So a lot of
Mhm.
times I think, they instead of arguing for a person's, like saying, no, I don't agree with this or really saying bad, they're like, look, it is what it is. Yes, this nigga, he guilty. Or, and vice versa, because they don't be wanting to be there, especially when it be dead a lot.
Yeah, because 4 months, and you got to think about those jurors. Like, you got to take off work for that much. And from what I understand, they don't even get paid that much.
So don't your job pay you?
No, I just, I don't know. I literally got called for jury duty one time and I ended up not having to go because I had just moved out of the county and they've never called me again. Knock on wood because I pray they don't call me.
I get you. Yeah, I think your job's supposed to pay you because I mean, what would be who would do jury
But
duty?
remember with the YSL trial, the jurors were complaining because they said like they couldn't afford to stay on that jury that much longer. So
Yeah,
I don't exactly know how they work, but I'm gonna look into it. If somebody knows, just shoot, let us know.
yeah, please do.
So the trial, like I said, it lasted 4 months. They called over 130 witnesses between both sides. Crazy. So
That's a
they
lot.
had friends, family members, members of the community, forensic sciences, exes, etc. However, no murder weapon was ever produced. And one thing that I find that was very suspicious, Vincent never asked how his family had been killed.
Damn.
Because he
Yeah.
did it. That's why. Because he knew
Yeah,
he did it.
exactly.
That's the reason.
Damn. That's crazy. So the jury went out and deliberated for 3 days. And when they came back with guilty on all 5 counts of first-degree murder on May 15th, 2007. So on May 29th, 2007, the jury came back with a death sentence, which is rightfully deserved. Kill it. Yeah, let them
Mhm.
fry. Let them fry. Yes. Smoke. Yes. Kill his ass, man.
Give him the
'Cause fuck,
chair and the lethal injection. Shit,
yeah.
bring back the electric chair and do it the old school way.
No,
Electrocute that
fuck no.
mother.
Bring back the firing
The
squad.
firing squad, yes.
Yes, and get a bunch of niggas who ain't got good aim. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, niggas that don't got good aim and shit. Fuck around and hitting his kneecaps and shit. Let them
No,
suffer.
that's what they need to do. Shoot, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
seriously, real talk.
So Eddie, Joni's brother, he told the media after the trial, quote, "We are happy that he had been justly tried and found guilty. We know we can close that chapter who did it. We can move on. I don't think he'll ever tell why because I'm sure he will continue to maintain he's innocent. But we know different. We all know different."
They know. So Vincent's mother just said she couldn't believe it. That's my baby. Joni's family down the line received an undisclosed amount in a wrongful death settlement to recoup the cost of the funeral expenses and ensure that any money left went to Vincent's only surviving child, Margaret. Margaret Kearns dropped the surname Brothers after her father was convicted and disowned them. Hell yeah, bitch, I don't want shit to do with your punk ass. All this time, Vincent has sat in prison, waiting on his death date, which is so frustrating. Why the hell they take so long? I know they got a
Fry his ass. It should not take more.
yes,
You get 10 years. I feel like that's enough time to get your
yes,
appeals out the way, deny all that. Friday ass, you wasting taxpayers' goddamn money. Fry that
exactly,
nigga.
man. Once the appeals are gone, man, yeah, get his ass out of here, man. Do us a favor. Now, after 21 years, he finally got his time in court for a hearing in June of 2004. However,
No, 24.
2024. I'm sorry, my bad. 2024. So that just yeah, that was just this summer. However, there were so many issues surrounding an appeal. His original attorneys are both deceased. The prosecutor has retired and moved away, and so have the original court reporters. Basically, the judge is giving him the runaround about an appeal, which is, I mean, I would just deny this shit.
Great.
That
I
is
just be like,
the,
dog.
yeah, exactly. That is the latest update on Vincent Brothers. He is currently 62 years old and serving his sentence on death row in San Quentin prison, which they said that is a horrible, horrible prison.
Hmm.
And that's where Charles Manson was housed after Charles before he died. Also, Tookie Williams, which was my dude, they killed that dude. And Scott Peterson is currently sitting. Yep.
What if they know each other? They sit there and talk about how they killed their wives, piece of shits.
Exactly. I wanted like so and when you on death row and you're waiting, like I wonder how that works. I wonder if like are you just in the cell by yourself or
Yeah,
like can you talk to
you're in a cell by yourself. I believe it's just like you're in a cell by yourself, and I believe like you're only allowed out of your cell like for 1 hour a day. Like you're locked up 23 hours a day.
yeah.
But there's
Yeah.
people, I mean, next to you. So I mean, I'm sure you still talk to people across the way because y'all are all in like this area or whatever. But
Yeah. I mean I would
yeah.
just
But
yeah, I would
all you
definitely
have
listen.
is time. You know what I'm saying? Like all you have is time to sit there and think about what you've done. Ugh,
I ain't
I
gonna
just want to
lie.
say fry his
Yes.
ass.
Yeah, exactly. I really was going to see if I could write them and just say, man, fuck you. That's all I'm gonna say. Just tell me, man, fuck you. I hope you die. So that's the story of Vincent Brothers and Joni Harper. So now we are going to go into our next segment that everybody loves to hear, and it's called
Love, Lies, and Alibis.
Okay. Okay. So guess what we're gonna talk about? Would you
What are
like
we
to
going to
guess?
talk about? Because this week Willie got to be in control of this segment. So
First of
Lord,
all, I do a good job. Now,
pray
granted,
for us all.
I
Shoot.
may not be able to pronounce the names and some words, you know what I'm saying? But I'm good. So we are going to talk about the professions most likely to cheat, right?
Oh, this
The
is this
top
a good one.
10.
Look at you. This
Yes,
is a
yes.
good
And
one.
then we're going to talk about the professions least likely to cheat. All right. So we're going to go with the top 10. So we're going to start with number 10 first, right? We're gonna start with number 10 and then we're gonna work our way up to number one. Now, these are what we're about right now are the ones that are most likely to cheat. Number 10 are armed forces. So if you're in the army, which is true, you know what I'm saying? Think about it. Your people is allowed to say the time. Your dude was in the armed forces. Would you agree to that?
He was too much of a bitch to cheat. He was too fucking
I wasn't
obsessed
talking
with his
about him in
relationship.
general, but you do the
Yeah,
culture, right?
the lady that we lived next door to, she was a really sweet lady. She was a few years older than me at the time, and I just remember talking to her. They had two kids, and her husband was like a sergeant. Like he had been in the army for like almost 20 years at that point. And she was just telling me that she wanted to leave him because he was a cheater. And she was saying that like he was the only man she had ever been with. He gave her herpes, but she was like, I can't leave him
God
because
damn. Oh shit.
who's gonna want me? And I was
Oh, I
like,
remember you telling me about that. Yes,
yeah.
he He gave her the gift that keeps on giving. Number 9 is information technology, right? So information technology. So usually them the people that know what I'm saying working like in an office somewhere. Number 8 is banking and financing. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they
That's
say banking and
a,
financing. Yeah.
hmm,
Finances. Number 7 is property and construction. All right. So construction workers. So
hmm.
I don't know. Yeah, right. Number 6 is engineering and manufacturing.
Well, damn.
Exactly. Number 5 is hospitality and events management. So
Ooh,
people
that
do
just
have
remind me of that Trey Songz
which one?
last time when he in the hotel with the girl because the girl worked at the hotel and then he had his
Oh,
girlfriend come in. Yeah, his they went. Remember they went to the hotel that his
I was
and
not a Trey Songz. I don't know not one song from Trey Songz.
oh my god, that's it. That album Trey Day was fire. No, but anyway, the song last time, the girl in the video, the girl that he had a girlfriend and he was cheating on this girl and the girl that he was cheating with she worked at the hotel, so I guess his management booked him at the hotel that his side chick was working at, and he had to take his main chick in there, and then his main chick found out that he was dealing with the chick that worked at the hotel. I'll send you the video, I got it somewhere.
This is a song or is this a movie?
No, it's a song. Look
That's a
up Trey
lot.
Songz last time. Look up the video. Like, I mean, it was, videos back in the day used to be like a whole
Yes,
thing.
I'm like, geez, that's a whole lot in one damn song. So
Yeah, it's shooting in a 5 minute song. Yeah, we got all the tea in a 5 minute song. Yeah.
yes. Number 4 is transport and logistics. Transport and logistics. So
So like
transport truck driver.
truckers.
Yes.
Oh, I mean
Trucker.
that makes sense because like back in the day, they used to have truckers used to have like families in different cities and they ain't know about each
Mhm.
other. That was before
Well, they
social media.
say truckers are fuckers. That's what they say. Yes, and they get they get the lot lizards too, the little lot lizards that'll hop in your truck and service you. Number 3, and this is the truth, healthcare. That remember that one
What?
chick? Yes, remember Lachey, the young chick that I was kicking with? Yeah, she was a I don't know, one of the initials, LPNSTN, one of them hoes, one of the
And,
ones that
and that other one that we shall not name,
yes,
she was
yes.
whatchamacallit, a
Yes,
RN.
healthcare
Look here,
worker.
I was in healthcare for 10 years. I was not a cheater though.
I mean, but not everybody, but that just a lot of healthcare workers. Yeah, they say the cheating starter pack is some scrubs, an Apple Watch, some
That was me. I had my
so
scrubs and the Apple
yeah,
Watch, but
scrub,
I was
Apple
never a
Watch.
cheater.
Yeah, scrub, Apple Watch. What else they say?
And some Crocs.
Some Crocs. That's a
I
cheating
ain't, I
starter
never wore
pack.
I didn't wear Crocs back then.
Now, this is true. Number 2, and I can speak for this, right? Because I talked about this with the whole Lance Mason case. Number 2 is teachers, training, and education. That's honest to God truth.
Oh yeah,
Teachers,
yeah, with the whole cheating pact.
yes, the whole cheating pack. I'm telling you, that is so true. The number 2 is cheating is teachers, training, educators. I know personally, hand. I was the victim, and I have a story to tell. Just want to throw that out.
You done told your story already, sir.
Oh, did I? I
I
did tell the
see.
story. No, I didn't tell the story of I told the story how I had a stalker who a
No, you
stalker.
did tell the story of how she cheated on you with the principal.
Oh, that is true. I did on the last. Oh, I thought I would talk about like a
No,
live. Okay, no, no, no.
no.
Okay, number 1 is sales. Yes, sales. Let
What
me tell
type of
you,
sales?
I don't never mention my job, but you know where I work at.
Yes.
Um, they had a sales department, bruh. I'll talk about it was yes, it was like like Solomon Gomorrah. They was yes, sales department, yes. So
So basically, who don't cheat? Like,
I'm
can
about
you tell
to
me
tell you.
who don't cheat? Because
Number 10 is retail. So people that work at store like Hobby Lobby, stuff like that.
okay, okay, we taking shots. Okay, keep going. You're so aggravated. I hate you. I've only worked there for a month and I'm quitting next week. Just leave me
Exactly.
alone.
Number 9 are public service and administration. Okay. Remember going 10 from the least from the most. Okay, hold on. How do we do this? Because these are the least likely to cheat.
You
Okay,
go
we start
10
with
to
number
1.
10.
10
10
is
to
the
1.
least
Okay.
likely.
And number 1 is definitely not cheating. That's how we're gonna do it. That's how it is. So number 9, I said with public service administration. Number 8 is marketing, advertising, and PR. Right.
Hmm.
Number 7 is environmental and agriculture, so probably like farmers. But they got their own little data website, farmers only. You know that?
No, didn't
You may
didn't
want to
know
check
that.
on it. Look, you may
I
want to
am
go.
stop. Okay, you stop painting me out to be like I'm desperate. I am in a stage
I'm
of
not
I
saying
don't want to be
I
bothered.
know that. I'm just saying, just I mean, you never know. Just check out what they got. Just
I don't
look.
want no farmer. I am not able to live on a farm.
But all I'm saying is you may want to try something different.
You
you done
know what?
had that.
Last time I tried something different, I ended up with a narcissist. Actually, the two time I tried something different, I ended up with a serial cheater and a narcissist. I'm good. I am enjoying this single period of my life. It is
I got
very
you.
low
Just
stress.
I'm
I
just
love it
throwing it out
here.
there. Farmersonly.com. Okay.
Oh,
Number 6 is law and legal, right?
hmm.
So lawyers. Like that's kind of weird to me, man, because I had a friend that was a lawyer by the name of Jason, and he cheated on his wife. He actually was the
Okay,
one who
okay. Don't do Jason like that because I ain't trying to be funny. But how his wife dogged him like he
I
was a
get that.
puppy.
I get that.
I
I
can't
get
I
it.
can't even hold you, and I can't even say she dogged the mess out of that poor man. I can't even be mad at him for that one. I'm not even an advocate of cheating,
I know.
but
I
she how
get that.
she dogged that man. She kind of lightweight had that coming. So
I
don't
agree
do
with
him
that.
like
I
that.
agree. I agree. Number 5. No, number 5, yes, is media and internet.
Hmm.
Yeah, that I don't know about that one, but they say they less likely to cheat. I don't know, maybe because they're on, the public platform. I don't know, it doesn't go into detail about that one. Number 4, creative arts and design.
Hey, that's me. Yeah, we don't cheat. We're good. We're good,
Oh,
quiet
shit, that
people.
is you. Okay, well, I agree. That's true then. That's true. That's true. That's true. You fit a
Yeah.
couple, but you fit a couple of these though, right? So
Okay. Well,
that's
my main job is
I know it's creative arts and
that's
design,
my main job.
and your media and internet too, right? Podcast.
Yeah.
Yes. There you go.
Yeah.
Now this one I don't agree with. Number 3, law enforcement and security.
No, I think they be. I think them the worst ones. I think they
Yeah,
cheat
so
till they
I don't
can't
agree
cheat no
with that
more.
one. That one I don't agree with. Yeah, law enforcement and security. Remember, we had Bobby Cutts. I mean, granted, he's only
Mm.
one person, but that's the culture. I'm telling you, they be out there stroking and poking and killing black people for no reason. Number 2 is business consulting management. That's what number 2 is. Would you like to guess what the number 1 is?
Plumbers.
Oh, Jesus. No, not plumbers.
Okay.
That's funny though. No. Why
That's the
wait,
first thing that came to my mind. I don't know.
why plumbers though?
I don't know. This is the first thing that came to my mind that you hadn't mentioned, so I just threw that
Ain't
out
that
there.
I could just when I think of how they used to with the porno, like, hey, I heard you got some pipes that need to be unclogged. So I think plumbers are cheaters. The number 1 profession least likely to cheat are scientists and pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, because they done been in they ain't got time.
Yeah, science and plus usually like people like that, they not even thinking about that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But look at no, hold on. Wait, Bill Gates wasn't a scientist, so no, he wasn't a scientist. But yes, so they say so those are the top 10 likely and the top 10 least likely. So if you are looking for a man that is least likely to cheat, get you a scientist.
But he
If
probably
you
boring as hell.
if you want to get cheated on, get you a teacher. Get you a teacher or get you a LPN or RN, a STNA, whatever all those initials. You want to that's if you want to get cheated on.
Yeah,
All
because
right.
the medical assistants they didn't cheat. We was the good ones.
The medical assistants. Okay. All right. So
Get you a
there you
medical
go.
assistant.
So that's our episode of Love, Lies, and Alibis. And I turn the mic over to you.
I'm so proud you did so good, friend.
Thank
That was a
you.
really good one.
I know. I just came up with it while we were doing the show.
I ain't mad at you. That was a good one. Actually, okay, yeah, okay. So, we are inching down towards Christmas. So, our girl Khadijah, if you listen to
Yes.
episode 9, um, we are still working with her and her mother. If you would have it in your heart to donate and, for some Christmas gifts or whatever the case is, we would adore you forever.
Yes.
And also it's just again, we're trying to assist with her mom, and the attorney getting her an appeal or getting a good attorney for an appeal. Because if you listen to the case and you really understand what happened, um, that is still our biggest mission going forward.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So
Anything
please
you want to
donate.
throw in before I close this out?
Um, no, 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 no. Thank you for all of the feedback. We've been getting a lot of feedback. We are actually in a couple people's top 5 podcasts for the
Oh
year
yes, thank you so much. Like that made
2025.
my whole day
Yes, the year
last week.
2024. We was in a couple people top 5. So we are definitely ecstatic and so we're humble. We are thankful for everybody that takes the time to listen and actually listen to me because I know I'll be on some bullshit, but that's what makes this show the show. It's my bullshit and and Tiffany hard work, dedication to investigation, and how she handles me when I'm on my nonsense. That's what makes the show the show. So with that being said, we are not going to change or switch up. Now, hold on. Now we start getting some big name sponsors and everything. I'm going to sell out. I'm selling the hell out. I'm going to be wearing rainbow flags and everything. I'm selling out. Let me get some money in my pocket. Fuck y'all.
I am so sorry to hear that. Well, you might sell out. I'm not. I'm gonna
Uh,
always be me. Integrity over everything. With y'all
okay.
aggravating
All
ass.
right, my bad. Go ahead. But that's all I want to say.
Yeah. Oh, so to piggyback off what you said, like I say, with us just starting out, we are what this is episode 23 or 24. I don't even remember anymore. But we are so thankful that you stuck it out with us. Like I said, we are growing like in such a pace that I didn't even realize we were. So we really thank you, and we do ask that you continue to keep sharing everything. And if you would like to, we love to engage with you on social media. So we're on all platforms now because I got tired of trying to mess up stuff. So I just changed everything to Melanin Mysteries Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Hopefully, we'll stay on TikTok and they don't get banned.
Yeah, they said January 2025 is going down.
This is so stupid. It has nothing to do with anything but them being petty. Yeah, they can't agree on giving us extra money on our taxes, can't agree on fixing inflation, but y'all can agree on banning the app. The shit is so fucking stupid. Oh my
I
gosh.
agree.
So anyway, wherever platform that you're listening to us on, we would very much so appreciate if you would give us a 5-star review. If you don't like us, you are more than welcome to slide in our DM and let us know that you have concerns, but we appreciate you not leaving it on our platforms because we
I mean,
like
we want you
y'all.
to, but if you do, just know.
Yeah, I mean, just send our feedback to us. Like I say, we read all the messages. I mean, you ain't got to be ignorant because I ain't gonna hold you. I'm just so offended from the first 5 minutes. Like
Oh yeah,
I'm still trying to
man.
figure out what happened in the first 5 minutes.
I listened to every one of the show. I told you that. I actually went back and listened to every show and listened to the first 10 minutes, and nothing I said was that offensive. I mean, the only one that I feel the one show that we got the most slack about was Ty. Um,
Yeah, it was
Ty
Ty Underwood, and I mean, I
Ty
can
Underwood.
understand that,
Yeah.
but
So whatever. It is.
I mean, it
If
is
I
what it is. And like I say, it comes with the territory. We ain't worry about it. It comes with the territory. And like I say, 99% of our feedback is positive. So we're good over here. We are
Yep.
happy. We are enjoying what we're doing and we're enjoying all of you. So just keep in touch with us. And as we are moving towards a new year, we have so much planned for 2025. And we are so excited that you are on this journey with us. So before we go, you got anything else for our closer
Nope,
out?
I'm good. Nope.
Alrighty. So just remember that love should never come with a life sentence. So make sure you choose freedom, but not felonies.
All right, that's our time. See you next time around.